So welcome back, everybody. This is Paul again. This is January 1st in 2016, and wow, what a roller coaster it's been for the last few years and still going on. And I make these videos, I put my 2 cents out there. I know not a lot of people watch them right now, but you know, I figure if I influence just a few people, we can make a little difference in our neighborhood and what's going on. And I think I keep making a lot of statements about how important the situation is right now, what we're going through. And a lot of people, I know the people who tend to watch these videos and ones like it are already quite conscious, and there's a relatively small number, so we need to communicate with each other, because this is one thing that we have now. We have the power of this communication device, and we certainly might as well take full advantage of it. So that's what I try to do. Now, I really am going to have to make a lot of videos because they have to be short here and talk about a lot of really practical things, because the situation right now that's going on, a lot of people do not pay attention to what's going on. The world, I mean, there really literally is war going on in a vast, vast scale. I mean, it's just absolutely, we sit in our little world, we live in our little homes, and we go do our things, and we go shopping and watch the game and all that, but we don't understand the consequences of absolutely incredibly vast, powerful things that are going on. For example, all the things that we own, the resources, the little tools that we have, the gadgets, like for example these little iPhones. There are certain kinds of metals in these gadgets that we have that are strategic metals, and they're only made in certain mined in certain parts of the world, and there's shortages, there's wars being fought, there's incredible stuff going on. So people have to really, in my view, just really get conscious, because you know, you ever get that feeling you're up at the top of the roller coaster ride and you say, yeah, you're all just all excited, you get up there like you're cranking up, and you get up the top, and all of a sudden you take one big gulp and you go, whoa, you know. Now, it's really, 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 really important for people these days to have ways to learn how to be calm. Because every single human being, we're not taught this. This is one thing about the information that we're getting these days, the stuff that we listen to, whatever we put our attention on, our little attention, that's our salvation. If you're, just imagine yourself drowning in the ocean, and what do you have? What do you got? Like you got a rope. The rope is your attention. Our attention, if we don't pay attention to it and latch it onto something powerful, strong, and peaceful within us that we carry around, we are literally going to drown. And again, I talk about this in a lot of other videos, but there's a lot of really practical things. There are techniques. There's been many countless teachers. I mean, some people react to the idea of, like, I don't want to have a teacher. I don't want to have a teacher. A what? Like, every teacher was a student. The only thing that makes a teacher is a good student. And even then, a really good student knows that there's like a whole lot of stuff they don't know. I mean, they just study all your life. We're all here teaching each other. We can all actually look each other in the eye and say, look, I'm teaching you, you're teaching me, you're giving me information that I need, etc. Then we say, okay, let's get smart here. We're teaching each other about certain things. Now, there are techniques that are available to help people get calm. Many techniques. There are whole books. I mean, this is an old problem. Yoga Sutra, Patanjali, the Upanishads, there's so many old ways. Cross that threshold, latch our attention onto something consistent. The one thing that human beings need to know, the first one of the first things is like, we are not the body. Try to understand this. Many different religions, different kinds of techniques, you get the understanding, the old question of who are we? Who are we? Well, we're not the body. We're not the body. When that becomes a practical realization of, oh yeah, I'm vastly more than this body. We have to understand we're temporary here. We're just temporary. We're temporary and we're not the body. We come, we stay in the hotel, we leave. That's how it works. So along the way, we're not supposed to be building empires. It doesn't matter if we build empires. Every single thing that we do, at the very end, we're going to put it down and it's going to become back in water and dust. That's what happens to this body. But along the way, we learn that one thing. Hey, I have a body, but by the gift of the grace or whatever, that's just the magic of creation. That's an opportunity. Call it what you want, God, grace, anything you call it. It doesn't really matter. It's a science. It's something. We're not the body. And there's a lot more to this life than shopping and sports and wars. And it just seems really obvious to me, anyone who's paying attention, that unless we understand this really quickly here, serious problems are going on. It's just, people argue. I mean, it's like you watch the TV news. Be careful where you get information from. You see, because if you watch the TV news, look, millions and billions of dollars are spent on these TV shows to arrange the message. They don't do it for no reason. They arrange the message to mold the way that people think. It's just obvious. I mean, to try to understand, look, just try to understand. Look, there are people in power who have an agenda. They have money, they have power. Okay, just taking it for granted, it's real. Conspiracy, not, yes, there are. And it's been going on for a long, long time. Liberation is a freedom to understand we're temporary here, but we have the spark of the immortal in us, and because of that, it seems absolutely incredible things can happen being a human being. The people, the greedy, the nasty, the horrible people, the despicable people in the world who have their own thing, they don't understand what harmony, togetherness, love, cooperation, enlightenment, they don't understand any of that. It's not even part of their existence. That's their hell that they live in. But the vast majority of human beings can be awakened to just an endless, basically boundless, unfolding, slowly unfolding consciousness. And when the time comes when we have to leave this body, first of all, we can learn some important things about how to make our body healthy, so we can live longer. And even if we have a short life, we can be more conscious, more healthy. The way you eat, the way you breathe, everything. You know, and the information on the news doesn't tell you that. You don't get told in school, hey, you're the crown of creation, lucky you. Look, there's been enlightened souls on this planet 5 years old, 10 years old. If you practice, if you open up, not even that complicated. That every single human being can have an incredible awareness. So we have to take full advantage of that awareness in the very near immediate future, because, look, things can happen. Okay, what can happen? Power outages. Do you realize what a power outage, just simple power outage. Let's say it happened for 2 weeks. Storm, terrorism, deliberate, whatever. There's many different reasons a power outage could happen. And think of what the consequences would be. Oh my God, you couldn't pump gas, couldn't get to your ATM. I mean, my goodness. And that can happen, and it has happened in many places. So people individually should be saying, look, you know, stuff can happen, and it does happen. Just because it hasn't happened to me yet, doesn't mean it can't happen. Look, the end of the world, people worry, oh, the climate, the end of the world. Look, people can adapt to rising seas. But what about Fukushima? What about radiation? What about, like, destroying the fisheries that we can't eat anymore? What about poisoning the soil? I mean, yeah, we can get if the water rises, the climate changes, we can do something about that. We can adapt, but there's so many other things that we can't adapt to. And we cannot adapt to ignorance and unconsciousness. I mean, there's all kinds of signs. All you have to do is just like wake up. It's so obvious that things are really going on, and they're not going to get better. Can't imagine how they're going to get better anytime soon, really. I mean, what? You donate money and click on Facebook and take action and sign a petition, or what? What's going to happen? It's not going to change. We have to find out where's our food, our clean water, our medicine, our health. Take care of our health. If we don't eat well, we're not going to be well. Food is medicine. Don't eat the trash. I mean, I'm saying, I hope this message goes out to one or two people. I have grandkids. I want them to live a long, healthy life. I want them to eat good food. I want them to realize that just because it comes in a box and is available at the grocery store, it doesn't call it food, real food. And without food, what do you got? Without nutrition, what do you got? You don't have a life. And I really urge anybody who listens to this to share this and say, look, okay, this is time. There's a lot going on here, and we really have to pay attention because, by being conscious, okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff that might crash, but if you're not in the building when it crashes, it won't crash completely on you. You understand? There's so many ways to be conscious of, okay, walk away from situations, move, change whatever you got to change in your life, but don't waste any time. Imagine extending your life for 5 years by better health care. 5 years. Imagine protecting yourself and eating better food and having a long, really healthy life. So again, I got the YouTube limit here. I'm timing my video here, but we can have a good year every single year, but it takes consciousness, deliberate attention. Like that said, the thread of our attention is our rope, and what we put it on. Find some ways. There's inside, within. There's people know this. It's an old story. There's different ways. Take care of our health. And I'm going to make a lot more videos this year. I'm going to try to get into some practical things about, solar systems and small-scale electrical systems and all kinds of ways, and practical things, and meditation, resources, and so on. So I appreciate all the feedback. I encourage everybody who listens to this to share it a little bit and share the basic understanding that, look, we're going through a major transition, and now is the time to row the boat and pay attention, because it's rough out there, rougher than you might think already in many parts of the world. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, you're lucky. Get ready. So thanks again for watching.